My name is Cate Christ, and the title of the work is Fill. The piece is something that I've been wanting to do for many years, and it's inspired by, well, I guess it's actually comes out of my interest in the everyday landscape and the working landscape. So the work is a pile of gravel, which is approximately 1.8 meters high and about 5 meters in diameter. And it's surrounded by a built edge, which is around, it's about 7.2 square meters. So the intent of the installation is for people to engage with it throughout the course of the 6 months by walking on it and shoveling it and raking it. And the volume of the river stones is equal to the volume of the built edge. So over time, it will shift and change and fill up the edge, which is therefore the title. And we will move towards another landscape, essentially, which I have designed. It's just 3 piles. And then we'll have 2 workshops throughout the course of the exhibition where people can come in and we can co-design the next 2 iterations of the landscape. So I'm trained as a landscape architect, and I'm also an academic. And within my artistic practice, which also covers design, I'm interested, again, in the sort of everyday life of the landscapes, whether it be stairs or materials such as gravel. It's the stuff that you don't often think about as being designed, but they're actually part of our everyday life. And when we start to engage with them through our body, through moving through them, through shifting, through changing, individuals collaborate to sort of make the world around us, the environment around us. And so that's the idea in a small scale of the installation Fill, is that essentially the essential act of a landscape architect, or I'd say in general of making a garden, is the shaping of the ground. And by moving the ground around and creating different topography, we can create a different experience of being in the place. And that's a really key element of my work, is being able to engage with the ground and then also to invite others to collaborate on works. So if you look at it from far away, it may just look like someone's yard where they're building a driveway. However, to get that shape, I was really interested in the mathematics behind it. And so it's 18 tons of gravel. And then in order to get it into that pile shape, we used a conveyor. And in order to actually get it to the site, because the access was really tight, we had the generous help of Jonathan, one of the people who works here at Eden, and then the help of Meredith to kind of come up with the idea of how to move it. So we grabbed each individual 1-ton bag, opened those up, and then led them onto the conveyor, which then made that perfect pile. I think that's one of the exciting things about it, is that we don't really know what's going to happen. So it could just look like a big pile of rocks to some people, and then to other people it could be their own creation, whether it's in a small or a large scale. So one of the joys of working with community members, whether it be youth off the streets or people who are just coming to the garden center to buy some plants, is that there's a bit of surprise, both for them, but then also for me as the artist, and then hopefully for Eden Unearthed, is that it's going to change and sort of adapt to how people use it. So we'll have different elements like rakes and shovels for adults, and also for children to come in and to help make the garden and practice doing different raking patterns inspired by the Japanese dry garden. But it's exciting for me, because it's also a little bit nerve-wracking, because don't really know what's going to happen. But that's part of the joy of being able to install this work here. The challenge of installing here, but then also the blessing of it, is that it was a very large amount of river stones. And so one of the questions that came up is, well, what are you going to do with them at the end? So the idea is that people can come and engage with the installation in a number of different ways. They can move stones around, they can take photographs, and then upload them to our Instagram. You can actually join one of the workshops, and what we hope is that people can take part of fill with them. So we'll have bags that you can fill and then take them with you, whether you want to have 5 stones or whether you want to take 20 kilos. You can take them home with you for a $10 donation to Youth Off the Streets. And so we'll be raising money at the same time as slowly cutting the installation. So hopefully by April we will have very little left, or just enough to be able to then donate to Eden to cover the rest of their garden center area.